This is a love song.
Your love for me is not debatable. Your sexual appetite's insatiable. You never ever make me waitable. Delectable, inflatable you. You don't have problems with your weight at all. You never steal food off my plate at all. I never have to masturbate at all. Unstoppable, inflatable you. You never seem to menstruate at all. So you're not angry when I'm late at all. I feel permanently fillatable, unpoppable, inflatable you. With you in my arms, I feel we could just float away. With the right kind of gas, I might even try it someday. In this ocean of life, I'm never afraid I might drown. We could just float forever, whatever the weather, whenever my inflatable love is around. Your thighs and buttocks are so holdable. You always do just what you're toldable. And if we argue, you just foldable, controllable, consolable you. My mates all reckon you are suitable. I took you round to watch the football, and Steve and Gary said you're rootable, refutable, commutable you. You're never sensitive or tickly. When I rub you, my skin goes prickly. It's known as static electricity, felicity when I'm kissing you. Your skin is so smooth, I couldn't afford you with hair. You have all the holes real girls have got, plus one for the air. Your problems are simple, I don't need my master's in psych to know if you get down. I just perk you right up with a couple of squirts with the pump of my bike. You never wake up when I snore at all, a trait which I find quite adorable. You have a box and you are storable, ignorable, backdoorable you. Any sexual position's feasible, although you don't bend at the knees at all. Your hooters are so firm and squeezable, increasable, uncreasable you. Now birth control is not an issue. I clean it all off with it. I bet my jealous friends all wish you were insatiably, inflatably theirs. Sorry, I worry, because I'm just about to play my last song, and
Oh, that sounded... That was a little joke about me interpreting that as like, oh, don't play your last song. But what it sounded like was like, do you want me to stop now? Like a teacher. I didn't mean it like... I meant the first one, the low status one, not the high status one. I worry that because a lot of my songs are sort of a little bit comic or like a little bit light-hearted, that people are going to leave my show thinking that I lack depth. And I don't want that. So to allay that fear, I always finish on this song, which I've written in the key of C sharp minor. See what I'm saying? And to kind of add to this sense of profundity created by the key, I tend to change the lights as well. Paul, have you got those reds? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like with this lighting state combined with the minor key, I think mostly people leave my show hopefully having had a good time and everything, but also thinking, yeah, that guy's really deep. So this is a song called Dark Side. Let's see you at the other end. I can have a dark side if you want me to. I can have a dark side. I can develop my brooding potential if pain's what you want in an act. Pain I can do. I can have a dark side too. I can have a dark side too. Hey! I called my girlfriend up on the phone. I said, hey, good girlfriend, what's good going wrong? She said, I'm breaking it off with you. I feel as if my magic is gone. I said, hey baby, what you talking about? I thought that everything was just fine. She said, that's exactly the point. I just get so annoyed how you're so happy all the time. I need somebody deeper than you. Someone with a little third dimension. I said, well, I can have a dark side if you want me to. I can have a dark side. I can develop my brooding potential if pain's what you want in a man. Pain I can do. I can have a dark side to you. I can have a dark side. I can have a dark side. I can have a dark side. Whoa. Hey! wrote a letter to Mr. Sony. Said he said, Sony, what's going down? I got a record and I reckon it's wicked, and I think you should spread it around. He said, hey Tim, I quite like your work. He said it's clever and quirky, but I promise you this: you could be clever as Voltaire, but it won't get you nowhere if you wanna sell discs. Clever never made no one rich. It doesn't appeal to the teenage market. The teenage market. Well, I can have a dark side if you want me to. I can have a dark side. I can reveal my tortured internals if that's what you want in an act. Pain I can do. I can have a dark side too. I can have a dark side too. Jeremy spooky. Daddy never came to my ball games. Oh, where were you, Daddy? Daddy never came to my ball games. He never loved me. Daddy never came to my ball game. Daddy never came. Daddy never came to my ball game. Daddy never came. Daddy never came to my ball game. Daddy never. And I can have a dark side if you want me to, if you want me to. Yeah, I can have a dark side if you want me to. I can have a dark side too. I can have a dark side if you want me to. If you want me to. Yeah, I can have a dark side if you want me to.
This is a song about sloth. It's called The Lament of the Three-Toed Sloth.
I used to be quite active in high school, back when my metabolic rate was faster. I was always quite stocky, but I was pretty good at hockey. I avoided white bread, potatoes and pasta. I used to be an average mammal. I was no Jesse Owens, but I wasn't John Candy. I was never that attractive, but I was reasonably active. I sure wasn't synonymous with lazy. I don't think I'm that apathetic. I'll admit I'm not particularly ambitious, but the fact that on the ground I don't break the speed of sound is typical of Megalonychidae Calypus. Oh God, were you really being fair when you named the land animals and birds of the air? Did you stop to think that's a bit rough. Naming that poor little fella a sloth. Pigeonholing should be left for pigeons. And frankly, I'm starting to get sick of being labeled by the number of my toes. And the fact that on the ground, I'm not that quick. I can't think of any other creatures around who are forced to share their name with a sin. There's a pride of lions, sure, but that's a collective noun. They don't have a greed or a lust at the Singapore Zoo. And Tim Roth isn't spelt with a W. And just in case I wasn't disadvantaged enough, you blessed me with only 3 toes that are actually too claw-like to grab onto stuff, and this simian face and this damn ursine nose to top it off. Oh, and then you went and called me a sloth. Lord, I have always done my best. This cross that I bear has put hair on my chest, and with the 3 claws that you gave me, I've clawed my way up to the top of the tree. But up here I'm tired and I'm lonely as well. I've got few slothy friends and no slothy girl. It's really quite tough being a 3-toed sloth in this 5-fingered hustle-bustle world.
Pleasure is the antonym of pain, and this song is about the pleasure of pain.
Yeah, did you really think that I would love you again? Did you think I'd just forgive the things that you've done to me? You must think I'm a masochist. I'd just as soon go and slit my wrists as take you back again. Who do you think I am? 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 Did you think I'd just sit around and wait for you to sort out your stuff? Ring you up fortnightly to reiterate my love for you. No! You must think I'm a masochist. I'd rather staple my foreskin to the roof of a descending lift as take you back again. Who do you think I am? 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 That I would let you have it all. Spending time alone while making sure you keep a hold on me. You must think I'm a masochist. I'd rather watch an amateur dramatic musical version of Schindler's List than take you back again. Who do you think I am?
And I'm now going to hand over for the closing song to our musician, the only Tim Minchin.
So this is a song about greed. I've called it Greed, or in brackets, balsa wood and glue.
When I was a young chap, just a little bouncing boy, my family was not wealthy, so I had to make do with second-hand pajamas and a single wooden toy, a dinosaur my daddy made with balsa wood and glue. But when I turned 13 and to high school off I trotted, I knew immediately that my dino wouldn't do, 'cause I had noticed all the toys the other boys had got it, and I couldn't help myself, I wished that I had got them too. My daddy made a dinosaur with balsa wood and glue, but before too long I knew that my dino wouldn't do. When I was 15 years old, I first turned to thieving to satiate my craving to have things the other kids had. I stole a gnarly skateboard from a skateboard shop one evening. It had bodacious fluoro railing and a wicked fluoro skid pad. By the following Monday morning, the skateboarding turned to boredom. My appetite for skating was abating in a flash. So I sold my board and bought a pair of flippers and a snorkel. But soon I balked at snorkeling, forked my snorkel in the trash. My daddy made a dinosaur with balsa wood and glue, but before too long I knew that my dino wouldn't do. At 18 I managed hedge funds and got fat by drinking beer. At 20 I owned 7 cars and houses on the coast. I fell in love at 23 with a Swedish girl called Mia. I bought a 200 quid toaster with which Mia made me toast. At 28, I went through like a Buddhist kind of thing and decided the material world and I were through. I hooked up with some Buddhist chicks who said that they were twins, but they didn't look that similar and they did stuff twins don't do. My daddy made a dinosaur with balsa wood and glue, but before too long I knew that my dino wouldn't do. But now I'm 47 stone and 31 years old. I have a kitchen staff of 12 on call 24 hours a day, and a page 3 girl I paid a lick chocolate from my folds. And a rent boy called Llewellyn, though I'm neither Welsh nor gay. Now to those who judge my lifestyle to be gluttonous and brash and criticise my excess acquisition and consumption, I say that critics of the wealthy are just those who don't have cash and who have never had a prostitute spread Marmite on their scrotum. My daddy made a dinosaur with balsa wood and glue, but before too long I knew that my dino wouldn't do. My father died a year ago, to dust he's now returned, and I found my wooden dinosaur, which all these years has lasted, and I cremated it and put it with Dad's ashes in an urn below a gravestone with 3 words on it: stingy bastard. My daddy made a dinosaur with balsa wood and glue, which is all very quaint, but I'd rather eat foie gras inside a Porsche.
Listening to Mark Watson Makes the World Substantially Better, written and performed by Mark Watson, with music from Tim Minchin and poetry from Tim Key. The producer was Katie Marsden.
Your love is like fingernails on a chalkboard. Your love is like throwing myself overboard. A breakdown on a Christmas Day, like scaling a cliff, then falling off, like trying not to cough. And I didn't see this one coming, now I'm in too deep. I didn't see this one coming, now I'm in too deep. I think I'll just keep swimming down, down, down. There's no point in trying to turn back now. I'm drowned. I'm drowned. Your love is like sand inside a bathing suit. Your love is a symphony with the sound on mute. A letter to the wrong address, or red wine on a wedding dress. Like broken bones in my praying hand, like trying to swallow sand. And I didn't see this one coming, now I'm in too deep. I didn't see this one coming, now I'm in too deep. I think I'll just keep swimming down, down, down. There's no point in trying to reach dry ground. I'm drowned. I'm drowned. Your love is like one last breath of salty air. Your love is like a map that leads to nowhere. A wine glass on a concrete floor. The overuse of metaphor. The straight ahead and a sideways glance, like the misstep in a dance. And I didn't see this one coming, now I'm in too deep. I didn't see this one coming, now I'm in too deep. I think I'll just keep swimming down. There's no point in turning round. I'm drowned. I'm drowned.
So I'm married, and the woman I'm married to I met in high school, and this is a song I wrote for her. It's called If I Didn't Have You. Yeah, yeah, if I didn't have you. If I didn't have you to hold me tight. If I didn't have you to lie with at night. If I didn't have you to share my sighs and to kiss me and dry my tears when I cry, will I really think that I would have somebody else? If I didn't have you, someone else would do. Your love is one in a million. You couldn't buy it at any price. But of the 9,999,000 other possible loves, statistically some of them would be equally nice. Or maybe not as nice, but say smarter than you, or dumber but better at sport, or
tracing, I'm just saying I probably
Have somebody else.
yeah.
If I didn't have you,
If I didn't have you, someone else would do.
someone else would show
And look,
me.
I'm not undervaluing what we've got when I say that given the role chaos inevitably plays and the inherently flawed notion of fate, it's abstruse to deduce I found my soulmate at the age of 17. It's just mathematically unlikely that at a university in Perth I happen to stumble on the one girl on earth specifically designed for me. And if I may conjecture a further objection, love has nothing to do with destined perfection. The connection is strengthened, the affection simply grows over time, like a flower or a mushroom or a guinea pig or a vine or a sponge or bigotry or a banana. And love is made more powerful by the ongoing drama of shared experience and the synergy of a kind of symbiotic empathy or something. So I trust it goes without saying that I would feel really very sad if tomorrow you were to fall off something high or catch something bad. But I'm just saying, I don't think you're special. I mean, I think you're special, but you fall within a bell curve. I mean, I'm just saying, I
Think that I would
probably
have somebody else.
I mean, I reckon it's pretty likely that if, for example, my first girlfriend Jackie hadn't dumped me after I kissed Winston's ex-girlfriend Nia back at Steph's party in 1993, enough variables would probably have been altered by the absence of that event to have meant the advent of a tangential narrative in which we don't meet. Which is to say, there exists a theoretical, hypothetical, parallel life where what is not as is, and I'm not your husband and you are not my wife.